It's the second free practice for the MRF 1600 Championship, not only of this weekend here in Greater Noida at the Buddha International Circuit, but also of their season. It's the start of the 2017 national campaign, and we are here at the Buddha International Circuit about an hour from downtown Delhi. 5 kilometers long, and this is going to be a 30-minute practice session. Track temperature 20 degrees, air temperature 18 degrees, a lot more pleasant weather than we've had the past couple of days, where it has been pouring it down here in northern India. So the cars are going to be making their way towards the end of the pit lane before too long, only about 45 seconds before the track goes green, and you'll see the cars that at the moment over at the top there pull out and head down onto the track. It was a very interesting first free practice session. Anandit Reddy was the man setting the pace initially, but it was Ananth Shanmugam who was the quickest man of anyone ultimately, the 19-year-old from Singapore in that red and white car that you can see in the middle. I know that doesn't really narrow it down, but the one that's got more white than red compared to the other cars out there. That is one of the men to watch. He did a 2-minute 7.358, fractionally quicker than Anandit Reddy. So those are the guys to keep an eye out for as we go green now, in theory, and we'll see the cars pull towards the end of the pit lane. None of them in a huge rush to go out. The session is green, the green flag is waving at the end of the pits, and now eventually they decide to pull forward. Anshul Shah in car number 14 is going to be the first man out there. No, not quite. Anandit Reddy there in the orange, white and green car just beats him to it as they trundle their way down the pit lane at a frustratingly slow speed before they can then get out onto the race circuit proper and start to go for it. So a couple of races here, then off to Chennai for the next 2 rounds, and then the summer break before it will return in July. This MRF Formula 1600 Championship, the national championship, as opposed to the international Formula 2000s that go to the United Arab Emirates and Bahrain as well. There you can see car number 8, Ishan Doriwala, making his way out onto the circuit, the 2016 VW Vento Cup champion. Stops and then does a practice start at the end of the pit lane to get some heat into those rear MRF tyres. Then following him out is Arya Singh, who was very impressive, the 15-year-old from Calcutta. Then we've got Angad Matharu heading out. Then number 12, Ananth Shanmugam, who was the quickest man in that first free practice session. And good to see those two getting onto the circuit as well. 45, Vibhav Parker, and 44, Anthony George, not getting really any running in that first free practice session. So good to see them heading out. All 11 cars now have taken to the circuit, or certainly the 11 that we saw earlier on. Need to get to the bottom of what happened with Jai Sampath Kumar, because his car didn't look ready to go out earlier on today. Potentially he's going to it's still in the garage and hasn't gone, but whether there's a driver there or not, I just wonder if maybe Jai Sampath, who, whoa, big slidey there from Ananth Shanmugam, and he's lost it. My apologies, it's number 5, Nayan Chatterjee, who has lost it. Very similarly liveried car, but he now rejoins the circuit. But Chatterjee there just having a little bit of a spin, the 19-year-old from Mumbai. But yes, Jai Sampath Kumar is a pretty prolific actor. And this is something he sort of does as a hobby, so I just wonder if he's filming somewhere today, and maybe we'll turn up tomorrow. We'll have to wait and see. But there is the spin again for Chatterjee. Just lost the back end as he came back on from the grass, which presumably is still a little damp. Just lost the back end of the car. But here is Anshul Shah making his way into the final corner, closely followed by Anandit Reddy as they come out and across the line. And rather excitingly, my timing screen now has sector times on it, so that is exciting. As Anshul Shah makes his way down towards the first corner. A little look up the inside from Anandit Reddy, and Shah is wise enough to let the 26-year-old from Hyderabad through, who's also racing in the VW Vento Cup this weekend, having won that championship back in 2015. the mirrors there, Anadith ready, just to make sure Anshul Shah is dropping back appropriately. Anadith ready comes through the first sector. Chetan Gurada actually the quickest man in the first sector. As I said, 2 minutes 7 was the benchmark time set in that first free practice session. And the back end sliding out just a little bit for Reddy. Anshul Shah following him around. Fastest first sector of anyone on this lap has gone the way of Anand Shanmugam, who, talking to Louise after the first free practice session, seemed pretty surprised to be quickest of anyone, felt it was a little bit scrappy and that there was more time to come. But they've got another half hour of practice, or rather 25 minutes now, to try and get into the swing of things a little more. Not a good middle sector though from Shanmugam. Across the line comes Anadith Reddy, and he goes quickest on a 2 minute 10.2. 3 seconds quicker than Anshul Shah, but still 3 seconds off the quickest pace we saw in the first practice session. There is Chetan Gurada into the right-hander at turn 1. Vibhav Parker, unfortunately, has returned to the pits at the end of that lap, so potentially more problems for Vibhav Parker. Keep an eye on that one. Here is Shanmugam, the 19-year-old, through the hairpin at turn 3. He's got a reasonable amount of clear air in front of him. As he hurtles down towards turn 4 in the very tricky braking zone. Oh, very late on the brakes there. To get the apex, I think, just about. That was some super late braking from Shanmugam. Meanwhile, up in front of him on the circuit, we've got Ishan Dodiwala. Now, Anadith Reddy has just done a 2 minute 7.377. Now, that is a very quick lap. And is actually it's not quite the fastest lap of the weekend, 200 slower than Shanmugam managed in the first free practice session. But very quick nevertheless from Anadith Reddy. We'll see if either of them can beat those lap times from earlier on. The track is starting to rubber in since these guys first went out. We've had a VW Vento Cup session, we've had an MRF 2000 session as well. Ayah Singh, just 15 years old, from Calcutta. Now fastest first sector again from Anadith Reddy. So he's looking good. There's Ayah Singh. Only 3/10 down in the first sector. onto the brakes. Shanmugam actually has gone 3/10 quicker than Reddy in sector 1. So, and here he comes, car number 12. Pushing very hard indeed. See how much more speed he takes into that corner at turn 5, couldn't you? Very different lines as well between Arya Singh and Shanmugam behind. Anadith. Showing his pit board. As he comes across the line, did a 2:14 on that lap, so 7 seconds off the pace. Here comes Shanmugam down towards the final corner. You can see he's feeling itchy. He's going for it up the inside. Ruthless stuff from Shanmugam. Comes across the line and doesn't manage to go quicker than Anadith Reddy, but nevertheless he was in quite a hurry to clear Arya Singh there. Here it is, came from a long way back, really went for it, committed stuff. And Arya Singh sees him coming, keeps out the way, but no doubt thought, well, hang on, we're only practicing here, son. Because now he's just going to have some more traffic up in front. I think that's Vibhav Parker. And that is Vibhav Parker tucked right up behind Chatterjee as they go nose to tail down towards the hairpin. A little bit of a twitch there for Vibhav Parker. And as I say, he's going to hold up Shanmugam as well. Good to see Vibhav Parker, who's back out onto the circuit, him and Chatterjee coming out together and finally getting some meaningful running in. Very frustrating though for Shanmugam, who just wants to get on with his lap times. Not close enough to make the move into 12, but 10, but just waited to 12 or 13, maybe even 12 actually, because it looked like he got a very good run through there. Looks up the inside, not quite close enough, so I think we're going to be waiting for another super late lunge down into 13. Well, a lot less late than last time. Oh, has he got that stopped or is he going straight on? Just about gets it stopped. But again, he comes across more traffic. You'd think on a circuit that's 5 kilometres long, and with only 11 cars, you'd be able to find a little bit more clear air. Anadith Reddy has found some clear air here. Still the quickest man of anyone on a 2-minute 7.377. Fractionally slower than Shanmugam managed earlier on in free practice 1. But Anadith Reddy currently quickest of anyone. The order is Anadith Reddy quickest of anyone, then Shanmugam second, Anshul Shah in third, fourth for Arya Singh. The top 4 all have first names beginning with A, back to the day. Fifth is Alex Bora, sixth is Ishan Dodiwala, seventh Chetan Karada, eighth is Angad Matharu, ninth is Anthony George, 10th is Nayan Chatterjee, and 11th is Vibhav Parker. As they make their way around the circuit now. And here is Anadith Reddy coming up into the right-hander at the top of the hill at turn 12, and then dropping down into 13. Fastest middle sector on this lap so far from Shanmugam, but his first sector wasn't really up to much. Is Anadith Reddy going to improve this time? Yes, he is. A 2:07.080, quickest lap time of the weekend so far for Formula 1600s. So good news for Anadith Reddy. The problem he's got is the problem Shanmugam has is that he was considerably slower in the first sector, even if he hooks up the final sector. Anshul Shah improves as well and goes third quickest now. Shanmugam does improve, but is still 3/10 off Anadith Reddy. There's Matharu coming through, then Nishan Dodiwala there, making his single-seater debut. 27 years of age. Vibhav Parker under pressure here as Angad Matharu moves alongside and says, I'm going to come through here. Pretty good first sector from number 12, Shanmugam. Now, is he going to get caught out behind Chetan Karada here? That's going to be the question, but a very good first sector, a 10th up on his best first sector so far. But what is going to unfold with the traffic situation? That is the question every day on the way to the circuit, and it's the question here as well. When trying to find a bit of clear air, lunges up the inside, won't have cost him too much time into 8 and 9, in fact still the fastest middle sector of anyone. So is Ananth Shanmugam going to be the first man to dip into the 2-minute 6s? Anshul Shah being told something by the pit board, maybe 2 laps to go. It didn't look like they had an L, did it? It was like an upside down 7. But down towards the final corner comes Shanmugam. This has been a good first sector, a good middle sector. Can he hook up the final sector and the final corner, or will he come into the pits? So Shanmugam decides to box, despite having a very good first and second sectors. Chetan Karada comes across the line to do a personal best and move up into 6th place. Arya Singh there in car number 10 remains in 5th position. No improvement from him that time around. Anadith Reddy is doing very consistent laps. The last lap time was a 2:07.1. The lap time before that a 2:07.0, and he's just done his fastest first sector of anyone, a 10th of a second, his personal best first sector I should say, a 10th of a second quicker than he has been before. Not as quick as Ananth Shanmugam though. This is Anshul Shah, 23 years of age, from Nagpur, and going straight over the chicane. There's going to be a lot of discussions if drivers are doing that in the race. Track limits and gaining advantages and such like. There is Ananth Shanmugam back in the pits, having a little discussion with his engineers. Across the line comes Anshul Shah. Any improvement from him? Nope. Middle sector for Anadith Reddy is... oh no, sorry, it's 8 seconds off. I thought it was 0.1 seconds off, but because the 8 looks like a 0, but it's 8.1 seconds off, so not a good middle sector at all for Anadith Reddy. Lost 8 seconds in there somewhere, potentially backing off to... oh, he's coming to the pits as well. So lost time in the middle sector and has now decided to come into the pits. Meanwhile, Shanmugam is back out onto the circuit. There is Anandith Reddy into the pit lane. Meanwhile, Chetan Karada is under pressure here. And Nayan Chatterjee has jumped up to third position then. So that's a very good lap time from this red and white number 5 car. Very impressive stuff. He was only 9th quickest in the first free practice session, 6 seconds off the pace. But now he has, as I say, jumped up to third quickest, just a second and a half off Anandith Reddy. Alex Bora, meanwhile, has jumped up to 6th. There's a yellow flag down here. Oh, and I think that is Anshul Shah facing the wrong way. Did a personal best coming through the first sector, but now looks as though he's facing the wrong way on the circuit. The order is Anandith Reddy, then Shanmugam, then Chatterjee, then Shah, then Singh, Bora, Korada, Dodiwala, Natharu, Parker and George. The 11 drivers. We saw a shot of, again, I think it's Anshul Shah walking away from his car, and yes, it must be because he hasn't come through the middle sector as of yet. But Chatterjee having a really good run, although he's running very wide there. That's not cool. Meanwhile, Shanmugam has just started a flying lap after his visit to the pit lane. Anandith Reddy still in the pits. Here comes Chatterjee. Not a great first and second sectors really, but now he's got a bit of clear air. We'll see what Nayan can do on this next lap. The 19-year-old from Mumbai, who's already had a spin in today's session. He seems to have hooked it up a bit more. Now then, here comes Shanmugam. There's the first sector timing. Well, it's up here somewhere. Somewhere along this back straight. And then we'll get a look at how quickly he's gone in the first sector. Onto the brakes now. And there we go. Through the... he's 3 tenths down in the first sector is Shanmugam. So, not ideal. He's got quite a bit of time if he wants to make it up. Still slightly quicker than Anandith Reddy has managed in Sector 1, just not quite as quick as he has been before. Chatterjee in third place has just set a personal best in the first sector, as has Anshul Shah in 4th position. Oof! Goodness me, that was a little close, wasn't it? As Anthony George just got out of the way in time of Shanmugam. Here he is, coming through turns 8 and 9. Okay, it wasn't quite as close as I thought, but certainly wasn't a million miles between them. So down now comes Shanmugam into the final corner. He's about 3 tenths or so off. We're probably looking at a mid 2 minutes 7 here as he comes across the line. 2 minutes 7.637. So no huge improvement, well, no improvement at all. We've got 7 minutes to go, just over 7 minutes in this second free practice session for the MRF Formula 1600s. After this it starts to matter with qualifying tomorrow morning. Chatterjee, meanwhile, decided to come into the pits. Anshul Shah has stopped on the circuit, hasn't he, after that spin at turn 4. And so this is Ayaz Singh, therefore the only man, really, in the top 5 who's on the move. Better first sector from Shanmugam this time. Into the pits is Chatterjee. just a little chat, and then off he goes. Alex Bora is 7th. Alex Bora is 6th. Chetan Karada is 7th. Angad Matharu is 8th. Ishan Doriwala 9th. 10th for Vibhav Parker. And 11th for Anthony George. Onto the brakes comes Ayaz Singh. Again, Shanmugam not super good in the middle sector. About 0.3 of a second down, so I don't think we're going to see the new fastest lap. Ayaz Singh, meanwhile, has done a personal best in sector 1. Manages to get out and around Anthony George, who's going slowly, not so slowly that he's got a problem, I don't think. And he is some 25 seconds off the pace at the moment, Anthony George. And Shanmugam does go quicker then. So Shanmugam is the first man into the 2-minute 6s, a 2-minute 6.876, about a 10.5 quicker than Ananith Reddy. So although none of the sectors were personal bests for Shanmugam, they've all added up to a personal best and best of anyone lap time. Now, what can Ayaz Singh do here? He's lost quite a bit of time in the middle sector, and as a result doesn't manage to improve. 7/10 down after the middle sector, after a very impressive sector 1. So no improvement for car 10. Ayaz Singh remains in 5th position. Here's the new quickest man then, Shanmugam. What's this first sector going to be like on this next lap? Starting to get into the rhythm a little bit, although he's half a second down in sector 1 this time. Pretty unusual to see someone set no personal bests but still set the quickest time of anyone. Certainly some more time in there for Shanmugam. Four minutes to go. Now that's more like it from Shanmugam. Fastest middle sector of anyone. So pretty, well, not meaning to be harsh, but a little bit inconsistent at the moment with the various sectors. They're not all quite coming together on one lap. As Shanmugam comes down now to the final corner, gets on the brakes, dives in nice and early towards the apex. 2 minutes 6.876 the time to beat, and he goes 0.4 quicker. So that's more like it. The fastest middle sector of anyone, the fastest final sector of anyone, and he's now 0.6 clear of the rest of the pack. Is Ananth Shanmugam, a 2 minute 6.440. There's Ananith Reddy, who seems to feel like his work is done for the day. Well, it's either that or he's suddenly thought, oh yeah, I've got to do the VW Vento Cup practice in 15 minutes. Better get out of the car and get ready for that. So Shanmugam, very impressive stuff. Chatterjee, meanwhile, in car number 5, 3rd at the moment, has done a personal best in the first sector. Chetan Karada has just jumped up to 5th quickest, and quicker than Ayaz Singh. So the order is Shanmugam, whoa, big lock-up. Shanmugam with the lock-up, then Ananith Reddy, then Nayan Chatterjee, then Anshul Shah, Chetan Karada completing the top 5. Ayaz Singh, Alex Bora, Ishan Doriwala, Angad Matharu and Vibhav Parker, with Anthony George slowest of anyone at the moment, but he's bringing those lap times down, improved by about 3 seconds on that last lap. Did Anthony George. Personal best middle sector as well for Chatterjee. So will we see him close in on the pair in front of Shanmugam and Reddy? The answer is yeah, a little bit, but not much. Lost half a second almost in that final sector, did Chatterjee, as into the pits comes Ishan Doriwala. reckon there's a 2 minute 7.5 for Chatterjee in there somewhere, but at the moment he's only done a 2 minute 8.1. This is Alex Bora, 22 years old, from Assam. Another up-and-coming driver. Really leaning on the back end, isn't he, as he comes through turn 5. Only 40 seconds left on the clock. So it looks as though it's going to be Anand Shanmugam who once again will be quickest of anyone in the second free practice session. He has just started one more flying lap out there because the clock counts down to 0 and the checker flag is out there. So that's the end of the run for Alex Bora as he comes across the line. He takes the checker flag, the first man to take the checker flag. Now, who out there is doing good lap times? Chatterjee, not a very good first sector. Vibhav Park has done a personal best in sector 1. And there he is now, caught up just in front of Anand Shanmugam, who's surely going to end this session quickest. Yeah, he's lost 1.5 seconds in the middle sector here as Shanmugam. So that's going to be his run over, presumably getting caught up behind Vibhav Parker. Cost him an awful lot of time, because Parker is about 15 seconds off the pace. So we'll see Shanmugam, I imagine, return to the pits. Vibhav Parker is going to go and try and complete his personal best. He's done a 2 minute 19.1 before, and there's a 2 minute 19.119 this time, so very consistently in the 2 minute 19s for Vibhav Parker. And I think that's it. Chetan Karada's out there in car number 1, but he's not really doing anything that exciting. So let's hear from Anandith Reddy. He's been out of the car for a little bit of time now. He's talking to Louise Beckett.
Well, Anandith was second fastest in that free practice. So you've come back early. Why is that?
Yeah, I had a couple of problems with the car, mainly with the brakes. So we couldn't get it sorted before this practice, but we're pretty confident we could get that fixed by tomorrow. And there was no point putting in more laps. I thought I'd save the tires, make sure the car's sorted, and then go for it. So yeah.
So you did very well to come second fastest if you had problems.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Everything else felt pretty good apart from the brakes. I knew I could brake at least 10-15 meters later almost every fast corner. So yeah, that was a big struggle, but yeah, pretty happy overall. Just need to get that sorted. And
first round of the championship. So how are you feeling going into this one?
Really good. I was here 2 months ago in a different car and it felt really good, and this one feels the same, and I'm more familiar with this going into this this championship, so yeah, I feel pretty good.
I suppose I should let you go now so you can get into your VW.
Yeah, that would be good. Yeah, thanks.
Thanks very much.
So Anandith Reddy, second quickest, not happy with the brakes then after that first second free practice session. But nevertheless, still finishing in P2. But the quickest man of anyone, the first man into the 2 minute 6s was Anand Shanmugam on a 2 minute 6.440. Anandith Reddy second. Nayan Chatterjee, much better performance from him in the second practice session to finish third. Aya Singh and Anshul Shah completing the top 5 after free practice 2 for the MRF 1600 Championship. So, the second practice session got underway. Anadith Reddy very keen to be the first man out there. First man out, first man in pretty much. There was early drama for Chatterjee after he slid over the grass and then slid back onto the grass and then slid along the grass and then slid his rear tyres around on the grass before getting back onto the circuit. But once again, quickest man in the first free practice session was on a mission. Anand Shanmugam forcing his way past Aya Singh to try and give himself some space out there on the circuit, and it worked because he ended up being quickest of anyone, a 2 minutes 6.440 for the 19-year-old who is really starting to impress in this season of MRF 1600. It looked as though he was going to be very, very quick on another lap, but then he decided to come into the pits, made a few changes, had a little thumbs up from the engineer, and he was back out onto the circuit. Very impressive stuff from Nayan Chatterjee to finish that session third quickest, having been about 3 seconds off the pace in the first free practice session. Second place for Anadith Reddy, who we just heard from with Louise, and despite having some close moments with some back markers, Anand Shanmugam nevertheless managed to hold on to be quickest of anyone. Alex Bora ended seventh quickest in car number 7 as he took the checkered flag before anyone else and then had to return to the pits. So that's it for practice for the MRF Formula 1600 chaps. Next up, it's qualifying tomorrow morning before their 2 races to start the season. It's the second practice session for the VW Vento Cup coming up here at the Buddha International Circuit in Greater Noida. The cars are queued up at the end of the pit lane, raring to get going because they had a shortened first free practice session that ended I think it was about 10 minutes early in the end because of a red flag. But now they've got the opportunity to go out onto the circuit now, and they will no doubt take that opportunity to try and get as much practice in as possible. Kartik Tirani is the first man out there, followed by Karminder Singh, and it was Karminder Singh that was quickest in the first practice session earlier on today. Vallabhen heading out there, Parmeshwar, Will Walker, all of these drivers in these VWs. Pulling out of the way there in quite an urgent manner was, I think, Anadith Reddy in the number 14 car, who has just competed in the Formula 1600 second free practice session. Out there in his VW straight away. There is number 2, Aaron Showry Vallabhen, making his way down the back straight. And number 11 there is Anmal Singh, firing along that very, very long back straight. It's about 1 kilometre long, I believe. Number 4 is Sean Parmeshwar. Or Sean P, as he is on the side of his car. In front of Anmal Singh there, the MRF team. Through zone 5, a little bit of dust being kicked up as they try and use as much of the circuit as possible. So all these cars on their outlaps at the moment. We've had 11 of the cars head out there, and it is ready straight out, whereas there was a bit of a delay before because he was out in the previous session. Oh, is that a spin recovery potentially for Aaron Showry Vallabhen? There is Anmal Singh, but we haven't yet seen Ishan Dodiwala, the champion of last year. He hasn't been out onto the track just yet in this second free practice session. He was out in the first free practice session. Through the final corner comes Karminder Singh, and then here, number 11, Anmal Singh. Come across the line, complete their outlap and start a flying lap down towards turn 1. Anmal Singh ahead of Kartik Tirani, and then Sean Parmeshwar there at the back. A very slow pairing, Anadith Reddy in 14 and Dhruv Dayal in car number 1. Both going around very, very slowly indeed. That's a bit unusual, isn't it? They're starting to speed up again now, maybe just trying to find themselves some clear air. And Dhruv Dayal perhaps just wanting to stick to the back of Anadith Reddy, the champion of 2015, to see and try and learn how to drive one of these cars. Try and see where Anadith is braking. Where he's losing time compared to the other drivers, and he's been very clever now. He's got an awful lot of clear air out there. Go onto the brakes into the first corner. Oh, very deep there from Dayal. Managed to stick with him so far in that number 1 car. And now down the straight. sort of meandering over into the middle, and then drifting back towards the racing line. And what he's saying, go through. And it's ready, stuck his hand out, said, after you, Claude. But Druv doesn't want to. But Druv doesn't want to go in front, so he slows down and lets Anadith Reddy through. I don't know what these two are up to. They've been driving around really slowly this whole lap, all trying to let the other one go in front. It's very amusing. As they come down towards turn 5. It looks as though Anadith Reddy has conceded that he will have to remain in front here. That appears to be the only option that Dhruv Dayal is interested in. As they drop down towards turn 10. I mean, clearly it's not going to be a rapid lap from either of these two drivers. Oh, look at that, getting the wheel off the floor, love it. There probably aren't that many corners here where you're going to get the rear wheel off the floor like that. Just get it up at number 10, at turn 10 I should say. As they get onto the brakes into the final corner now. The quickest lap time so far, Kartik Tirani, 2 minute 23.572, about 4 tenths quicker than Karminder Singh, with Sandeep Kumar third quickest, but we're in the very early stages of this session. Dhruv Dayal and Anadith Reddy, unsurprisingly the slowest of anyone. There though is Kartik Tirani. I do need to investigate whether it is the Kartik Tirani that won the Formula 1600 Championship last year and has now moved into the Vento Cup. I will go and ask, probably after the session. As he comes out of the final corner, are we going to see an improvement? 2:23.5 last time around and a 2:22.8 this time around. So Kartik Tirani does indeed improve. Now what are these two up to? Anmal Singh is under an awful lot of interest and pressure. And Sean Parmeshwar goes at the inside into turn 1. Singh's having none of it. Says, no, I'm just going to drive my normal line. If you want to come through, you're going to have to properly overtake. As they head up the back straight again. So Kartik Tirani 8 tenths of a second quicker than Karminder Singh. Sandeep Kumar third quickest, then Sean Parmeshwar, then Ameya Walker, Anmal Singh. Gautam Murugan has just jumped up to 5th, with Vallabhen 8th, Eglavia 9th, and then we've got our two comedians, Dhruv Dayal and Anadith Reddy. As here's Sean Parmeshwar. Dropped back a little now, hasn't he, from Anmal Singh? Minutes to go, just over, and it's Kartik Tirani who is the quickest man of anyone so far, 2 minute 22.820. We'll see whether he can improve this time around. He's in the final sort of section of the lap. As we see Anmal Singh coming down through the right-hander. Karminder Singh comes across the line, doesn't improve. Kartik Tirani does improve, a 2-minute 22.572, so takes about 3/10 off his time. Very, 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 very wide there for Anmol Singh. As a result, he doesn't improve, nor does Sean Parmeshwar. So it's now a second advantage on everyone else for Kartik Tirani. That kind of pace, you can't help but think he must be the champion driver from Formula 1600. Here, meanwhile, this is Gautam Murugan. Fifth at the moment, only a tenth of a second slower than Sean Parmeshwar, although he's just been knocked down to sixth because Will Walker has just moved to fourth. Through the final corner comes Gautam Murugan. Any improvement? Nope. Improves the time but remains in sixth place. 7.7 seconds complete the top 12. This is Karminder Singh, who was quickest in the first practice session. Third quickest so far, a second off Kartik Tirani. Good luck from Sandeep Kumar, closes the gap down to 8/10. So here comes Karminder Singh. No improvement on that last lap. What can we see this time through? Currently third and now up to second. A 2:23.164 for Karminder Singh. Still 6/10 off Kartik Tirani, but quicker than Sandeep Kumar. And up into second place at the moment in this second free practice session. Gautam Murugan. Good to see Jeet Jabak out. Only 2 laps so far, and in fact, he literally might have just pulled back into the pit lane as I said that. Keep an eye on the timing screens, but he didn't get much running in at all in the first free practice session. As we see Anadith Reddy in 7th place at the moment. Reddy 3.4 seconds off the quickest pace at the moment. Sandeep Kumar that's come into the pits meanwhhle. So it's Tirani, Singh, Kumar, Walker, Parmeshwar, Murugan, Reddy, Anmol Singh, Dhruv Dayal, Jeet Jabak, Aaron Showry Valaben and Eklavya. The 12 drivers out there so far. This is Anadith Reddy that we're watching. He doesn't improve this time around. In fact, he was well off the pace, about 20 seconds off the pace in that metallic brown number. A couple of cars in the pits. Number 10 there. Oh, it is Jeet Jabak. So still troubles for Jeet. And that is a real shame. He didn't get much running at all in the first practice session. Here now is the quickest man of anyone, Kartik Tirani. No improvement that last time through. Still has the quickest lap time. Karminder Singh in second place has just come into the pits too. We've just passed the halfway mark in this second practice session. 4 o'clock local time. Kartik Tirani, this man, quickest at the moment. Gautam Murugan has just jumped up to 5th position. So the order is Tirani, then Karminder Singh in second, Sandeep Kumar third, 4th Romeo Walker, 5th for Gautam Murugan, 6th for Sean Parmeshwar, 7th for Anandit Reddy, 8th for Anmol Singh, 9th for Dhruv Dayal, 10th for Jeet Jabak, who has just left the pits again. So hopefully this time we'll see him progress a little bit more out there. Aaron Showry Valaben is in 11th place and has just come into the pits, and Eklavya has just come past the start-finish line in 12th position at the moment, as Kartik Tirani runs a little wide out onto the curbs. Swings it one way, then the other, through 10 and 11, up towards 12. Any improvement this time for Kartik Tirani? A 22.572 is his best lap time so far. Not quite, a 2 minute 22.839, so about 3/10 off his best lap time. Anandit Reddy goes third. So now Anandit Reddy starts to get into the swing of things in this VW practice session. Got up to 7th and is now up to 3rd. And there he is, just making his way down through turn 4. Love the way the back end just steps out a little bit as he swings it into the left-hander. Anandit Reddy there was the only man to improve on that last lap. Everybody else, well, didn't. We'll see whether he can do the same this time around. Who is he behind? Is that going to cause him some problems? We'll have to wait and see. It is Eklavya at the moment, who is only 5 seconds off the pace, despite being down in 12th and last position. So you wouldn't have thought he would... oh, and good work from Eklavya there, getting well out of the way of Anandit Reddy. Really, really sensible, good driving. So through the final corner, 3rd quickest at the moment for Anandit Reddy on a 23.4. Any improvement this time around as he cuts the timing beam? No. A 2:23.9, so no one improving at the moment. With only 11 minutes to go, out of the pits comes Aaron Showry Valaben. This, meanwhile, is Sean Parmeshwar in 7th spot at the moment. Kartik Tirani, the quickest man of anyone. Karminder Singh second, Anandit Reddy third, Sandeep Kumar fourth. Anmol Singh all over the road and the runoff and the curbing. And Anmal Singh does improve that time. Remains in 8th place, but sets a faster lap time than he has managed previously. 3.5 seconds off the pace of Kartik Tirani. This is Aaron Showry Vallabhen, who was going a little slowly a moment ago, but now appears to have picked up the pace in the Gulf liveried VW Vento. And there's Amaya Walker coming into turn 1 and 2. 5th currently. 2.1 seconds slower than Kartik Tirani. The top 4 though covered by 0.8 of a second. Second, third and fourth covered by 1/4 of a second. Nine to go. Sandeep Kumar. Sorry, we're still with Amaya Walker. My apologies. Sandeep Kumar has just left the pits, so we'll see whether we can get any improvement there. Up towards turns 8 and 9. The long, never-ending right-hander. Take a couple of apeces. I think it was meant to be like a reversal of the turn 8 left-hander at Turkey. Even though it was designed by the same man, he couldn't do the same as he did before. Kartik Tirani's done a lot of laps here, 9 laps. 3 more than Karminder Singh, and when you consider that it's 2.5 minutes a lap, these maths I can't quite do. 7.5 minutes, something like that. So he's had 7.5 minutes, 8 minutes more running than Karminder Singh in second place as Kartik Tirani, the quickest man out there. Flying down that back straight. Here comes Aaron Showry Vallabhen. Jeet Jabak has managed to get some good few laps in now. Down in 10th position still, but 5 laps completed, which is good news. Kartik Tirani and Anandith Reddy are halfway around their lap. Here is Anandith Reddy coming through turns 8 and 9. In fact, is that? No, it's not. It's Dhruv Dayal, he's up behind. These two have had their moments, in particular, in practice earlier on, where they were both trying to let each other go. Now, is Anandith Reddy going to catch him before the end of the lap? Can Anandith Reddy improve on his current 3rd position? All these questions are set to be answered in a moment. He's not going to get held up, is he? Clean run through the final corner for Anandith Reddy. Oh, he's coming to the pits. I was just about to do the big sell, but he comes into the pits in the end as Dhruv Dayal stays out there. 6 minutes to go. This is Sean Parmeshwar up in front of Anmol Singh still. The two of them lapping together. In theory, Anmol Singh 0.4 of a second quicker on their quickest lap times they've done so far, but they look very evenly matched, don't they? Could be part of the race, this. Not close enough that time, they're into turn 10. sorry, into turn 13, my apologies. And such a dramatic exit from the final corner for Sean Parmeshwar. Is he trying to avoid the slipstream or something? I think he might be. I don't really know what he's trying to achieve. Let's see if Anmol Singh's getting bored of it and sends a lunge. No, he doesn't. Into the pits comes Kartik Tirani. Quickest man so far, 2 minute 22.572, 6/10 clear of the rest of the pack. Karminder Singh is in second place, Anandit Reddy is in third. All three of those chaps are now in the pit lane. Sandeep Kumar is fourth, he's still out on circuit. In fact, has just left the pit lane. Ameya Walker in fifth is in the pits. Then we've got Murugan, Parmeshwar Singh, Dayal, Jabak, Balaben and Eklavya. Dayal still out there, he's been putting a lot of laps in as well. 10 laps for Tirani, 10 laps for Walker, for Murugan, for Parmeshwar and for Singh. Any improvements this time from Dhruv Dayal? If he can find 0.4 of a second, he could jump up 2 places up into 6th place. Let's see what he's got. He's got nothing. 2 seconds slower than he managed previously. Look at these two still going. Anmol Singh right up behind Sean Parmeshwar. Still, oh, is he going for that? Thought he was for a moment there. But still now, he's managed to get side by side. They come across the timing beam, absolutely nose to tail. Or, well, door to door, mirror to mirror. But it's still going to be Sean Parmeshwar who has the inside line. Dramatic lunge towards the inside from Anmol Singh, late on the brakes. And he gets the move done. So Anmol Singh now, finally, with 2.5 minutes to go, has the clear air he has seemingly craved for a long time. Sandeep Kumar from second place is out on the track, and actually on that last lap did a personal best, a 2 minute 23.080, only half a second off Kartik Tirani in second place. Now this is a replay of all trip to the gravel. Sean Parmeshwar, having been overtaken by Anmol Singh, getting frustrated and running wide coming out of the hairpin. Here is Eklavya. Into the final corners, I think Sandeep Kumar returns to the pits. Yes, he does. So no improvement for Sandeep Kumar. "70 seconds to go in this second free practice session. And the top 5 are all in the pits. So are 10th and 12th. So of our 12 drivers, more than half are in the pit lane in the closing stages of this session. They obviously feel pretty satisfied with what they've learned from the car over the course of the session. Gautam Murugan still out there, still going. He's now completed 11 laps. He, Sean Parmeshwar and Anmol Singh and Dhruv Dayal and Eklavya will have completed all possible laps by the time the checker flag comes out in, what, 20 seconds time? So this will be the last lap, I think, for Murugan. Anmal Singh crosses the line. He can start one more lap. So can Sean Parmeshwar. But there's the checkered flag. Checkered flag is out. The clock ticks down to 0. And the second free practice session is over. And it looks as though Gautam Murugan is going to come straight into the pit lane. And unless something outrageous comes from Sean Parmeshwar or Anmal Singh on this final lap, i.e. they find 3.5 seconds, it'll be Kartik Tirani who will start on pole position. Sorry, not start on pole position, who will end the session quickest, I should say. My apologies. Qualifying for these guys comes up tomorrow. Half a second quicker than Sandeep Kumar, but Kumar and Karminder Singh separated by less than 1/10 of a second. Still got Dhruv Dayal out there. So Sandeep Kumar second, Karminder Singh third. Anandith Reddy in 4th position in the end, with 5th place for Ameya Walker, 6th for Gautam Murugan. Let's see what Dhruv Dayal has as he comes through the final corner. Checker flag waiting, 9th place at the moment. Any improvement? Yes, but remains in 9th place. 2 minute 26.193 for Dhruv Dayal. So it's just Parmeshwar and Anmal Singh that may, well, quite reasonably plausibly, may be able to usurp Gautam Murugan from 6th place. They're only 4/10 behind. So these are the last 2 cars out there that we're interested in, or out there full stop really. 8 and 9. Down to 10. Parmeshwar at the moment 3.5 tenths quicker than Anmal Singh, 1/10 slower than Gautam Murugan. Now, are either of them going to finish the lap, or are they going to go straight to the pit lane? That is the question. Pit lane. Well, certainly for... yeah, they're both going in the pit lane. So that's the conclusion of this second free practice session. Tirani, Kumar, Singh, Reddy, Walker the top 5, then Murugan, Parmeshwar, Singh, Anmal Singh, Dhruv Dayal and Jabak the top 10, Eklavya and Aaron Showry, Valaben the top 12. But here are your top 5 then, with Walker in 5th place. Sandeep Kumar and Karminder Singh only separated by a fraction of a second, but they're all half a second at least behind Kartik Tirani, who is the quickest in the VW Vento Cup Free Practice 2 session. So a look back at the highlights of this session. Kartik Tirani was the first man out onto the circuit as he got ready to push hard and end up on only his 4th lap to be half a second quicker than the rest of the pack. Kartik Tirani trying to clear himself a little bit of space there. Had a good fight really all the way through between Sean Parmeshwar and Anmal Singh. They appeared to be sort of reasonably wasting their time, but I think they enjoyed their battle. Although, you have to say for Sean Parmeshwar, it wouldn't have been ideal to run through the gravel in the way that he did. Gautam Murugan finished the session in 6th place in the Golf liveried VW. Up behind him, we just saw Jeet Jabak, but this was Anandith Reddy, who steadily climbed up the order, right down at the back, then got up to 7th, then got up to 3rd at one point, before in the end finishing the session in 4th place, just being usurped by Karminder Singh in the closing stages. Still, these two were at it. Anmal Singh trying to find a way past Sean Parmeshwar. Eventually he did. And then the checkered flag came out and Dhruv Dayal took it. He finished in 9th place in that second practice session, but it's Kartik Tirani who is the quickest. So That's the end of the free practice sessions for the VW Vento Cup. And it's Kartik Tarani who is the quickest man of anyone ahead of Sandeep Kumar and Karminder Singh. Qualifying and racing starts tomorrow. It's the 2016-17 MRF Challenge season, and it is the final practice session ahead of qualifying and the race tomorrow in the third round of the championship. We have been to Dubai, we have been to Bahrain, and now MRF returns to its home country of India for a race here, and then in a couple of weeks' time, a race in Chennai. My name is Jack Nichols, and the cars are just about to head out onto the circuit to take to this Buddha International Circuit, and they have about 2 minutes to go before they head out there, and you can see an awful lot of media attention focused on these cars as they get ready to fire up the engines and head out onto the track. The fastest single-seaters in India, and they're about to take to the Formula One circuit for the first time in a couple of years. It's races in the likes of Qatar and such, but now they are returning to the Buddha International Circuit here in Delhi, which is fantastic to see because it really does allow these cars to stretch their legs a little bit, because it's 5.14 kilometers long, this Formula One circuit that was used from 2011 to 2013. Air temperature 18 degrees, track temperature 20 degrees. We're here in Greater Noida, which is just outside of New Delhi. So it was Harry Newey who was quickest in the first free practice session, but Joey Mawson, Mick Schumacher were fast as well. It's Joey Mawson who is leading the championship at the moment after 8 races, another 4 here this weekend, and then another 4 in Chennai. So these drivers really getting an awful lot of lap time on the circuit. John Lancaster there in the black jacket having a little bit of a yawn, and he is here coaching some of the drivers. He raced in the MRF Challenge a couple of years ago alongside the likes of, I think that was the year of Jordan King and Alice Powell and Luciano Bacchetta and those guys. John Lancaster raced, and Rupert Svensson-Cook, who is here and there, in fact, just jogging. Very unusual jog from Rupert as he makes his way across the pit lane. He too raced here in that year and is too back here as a driver coach. 30-minute session then underway now as they try and get out of the pits in a relatively clear order. There is Mick Schumacher, who was leading the championship in Dubai, but then suffered a double retirement and as a result dropped a long way back. He's got a long way to go if he wants to get back into the championship hunt, as the cars stream out onto the circuit. Really looking forward to the racing this weekend. Qualifying gets underway tomorrow morning, and there is a spin for Joey Mawson. Not the, oof, goodness me. Where's he going to go now? Not the kind of moment we expected for the championship leader. We saw Manuel Maldonado do it earlier on. Now Joey Mawson has got going again and is on his way, but that's a bit of an unusual one for the Australian, the man from Sydney in New South Wales, who has been competing mainly in Europe. He won the German Formula 4 title a couple of years ago, beating Mick Schumacher to it. Let's have a look again. Coming around the right-hander, just lights the rear tyres up, and then tried to do a U-ey back around and almost came into the oncoming traffic. But no real dramas there for Joey Mawson as he makes his way now past Pavan Ravishankar. There's Schumacher coming through 8 and 9. Most of these drivers were just learning the circuit in the first 3 practice session, really, having never been here before. Schumacher through the final corner and out across the line to start his lap. Obviously no points or prizes for a free practice session. An awful lot of clear air for Mick Schumacher. That probably won't be the last time I do that this weekend. And scrabbling for grip though as he comes through the hairpin. The sun's gone in a little compared to their first free practice session. There's Dylan Young behind. Schumacher has that whole back straight to himself, doesn't he? So it's very low in the car. You feel like you can hardly see the visor over the top of the monocoque. Joey Mawson actually has returned to the pits, so everybody else is staying out there. Joey Mawson's returned. Whether there was some kind of problem that caused that spin, or whether they just want to check the tyres or something, I don't think they would have particularly flat spotted, have they? Spun them up just a little bit. And he's now out of the pits again, Joey Mawson, so no lasting dramas by the looks of things. Schumacher down towards turn 10. Now into the final corner. 13, having a few bites at that one, wasn't he? And now out and across the line. And it is a 1:54.458 for Mick Schumacher. We'll see what everyone else has in comparison to that. Dylan Young a 56.866 as he comes across the line. Harry Newey a 56.1. And there is Harry Newey, the man who was quickest in the first free practice session. Oof, takes a lot of curve, doesn't he, down into that first corner. Looked like all four wheels almost came off, or came up in the air, I should say. Yuri Vips has gone third quickest. Felipe Drugovich fourth. Fifth for Dylan Young. Up on the inside right front for Harry Newey. It's got Dylan Young up in front of him, but not too close to make too much of a difference, I wouldn't have thought. There's the 18-year-old, born in London. Makes his way around after a year in the European Formula 3 Championship, where results didn't go quite according to plan. It was his rookie season, of course, having been very impressive in the British Formula 4 Championship, where he was second in 2015 to Will Palmer. So Schumacher does a 52.8, but Harry Newey a 52.7. So Harry Newey now goes quickest. We'll wait and see what everyone else has as they come across the line. Drugovich goes third quickest. Ralph Aaron goes fourth quickest. Yuri Vips now jumps up into fourth. But Newey and Schumacher are second and a half clear of the rest of the field at the moment after those first flying laps. So we see Dylan Young. Newey as well and truly caught the back of him, hasn't he? Still no sign of Joey Mawson just yet. We'll keep an eye on him. I think this is him coming across the line now, and he jumps up to 8th quickest. Joey Mawson. Meanwhile, we're still watching Harry Newey trying to find a way past Dylan Young. Is Young going to move out of the way? Is Newey going to have to make an overtake? Look how much more speed he has. Harry Newey flying around 8 and 9. It's going to compromise this lap, there's no doubt about that. Is he going to be able to find a gap for a look for an overtake, maybe down into 13, although he's somewhat dropped back just a little. The problem is for Harry Newey is now this next lap is compromised. He's going to be stuck behind Dylan Young here as well. Mick Schumacher meanwhile goes quickest to 51.732. But Harry Newey can't improve on that last lap, in fact lost time. Then there's Drugovic in third place. And Harry Newey has passed then, so Harry Newey has got past Dylan Young and now has some clear air, but that's 2 laps effectively ruined for Harry Newey. And here comes Drugovic. Picked up a podium in his debut season of car racing in the German Formula 4 Championship. Joey Mawson now up to 5th place, so he's starting to get back into the groove, is the Australian, after that spin on his outlap, on his out corner I suppose. Already a third of the way through this session. The order is Schumacher, Newey, Drugovic, Aaron, Mawson, Young, the top 6, then Kimi Schramm, Yuri Vips, Rinus VK, Yoshiaki Katayama, the top 10, Pedro Cardoso, Narain Karthikeyan's test car, Pavan Ravichanka, Manuel Maldonado and Chia Wing Hung. So we continue to watch Felipe Drugovic, just 16 years old. Now Harry Newey improved on that last lap to go 3/10 slower than Mick Schumacher, but he still did lose some time getting past Dylan Young at the first corner. Narain Karthikeyan's just gone 2nd in the test car. Car won't be sort of taking part in the races and battling as far as the championship is concerned, as we see Ralph Aaron, who missed the last race in Dubai, so he's got a little bit of catching up to do compared to everyone else who's had an awful lot more time in the car compared to the Estonian. 2015 Italian Formula 4 champion. So we've actually got both of Schumacher's title rivals here. Oh no, sorry, it was the year after, wasn't it? That was the year before Schumacher. Schumacher finished 2nd in Italian Formula 4 in 2016. Ralph Aaron won it in 2015. And then finished 7th in his rookie season in the Formula 3 European Championship, did Ralph Aaron. With the Prema team, which was very impressive. Won a race in Bahrain, and there's no doubt if he'd have done, runs wide there, but if he'd have done Dubai as well, he would be a title challenger. And you never know really. A good run here this weekend, and it could be very impressive. And he could haul himself back into contention. You think Harry Newey has had 2 DNFs? Mick Schumacher has had 2 DNFs. If it can be a nice clean run for Ralph Aaron, he may be able to get back into it, but he's only 6th quickest at the moment. Mick Schumacher still quickest, 1 minute 51.7, bit of a lock-up for Aaron coming into turn 1. There in the pit lane is Pavan Ravichanka. Yuri Vips, Pedro Cardoso, and and Manuel Maldonado also back in the pits. And here is Joey Mawson, the man leading the championship. Oh, he's going sideways there. Really pushing hard. And let's see if he continues on his way out there. Another little lock-up. Just trying to see if there's anything visibly wrong with the car. Can't quite. Oh, unless it's the engine cover. Yes, on the driver's left, the engine cover is pulling slightly away, isn't it? But I wouldn't have thought that would affect things too much unless it's stalling the rear wing. But then they're not really running much rear downforce anyway. So, oh, and off there is Drugovic. Has he hit the barriers, or is he just parked exceedingly close to them? It's on the exit of turn 5. Might have just got away with that, you know. Maybe. But meanwhile, you can see the engine cover is sticking out there on Joey Mawson's car. Like I say, whether that is what is leading to the instability, uncertain. Mick Schumacher still quickest. I think they've had the sort of best life out of these tyres because no one really is improving. So look at this, here comes Drugovic. Just lights up the rears. Is he going to hit that wall? Oof. Maybe the gentlest of nudges. But fortunate one there, Drugovic. It's interesting because I don't recall people spinning there a couple of years ago when we came. We've had a couple of spins so far here today in the Formula 2000s, so you just wonder, with all the improvements they've made over the last few years, suddenly that corner appears to have become a bit of a challenge. Look at Mawson's hands hacksawing at the wheel. See how many times he turns into this one. 1, 2, 3. 3 attempts at getting it in. Drugovic just returned to the pits now. He probably does have a couple of flat spots after that spin. Still Mick Schumacher quickest. In the pits is the 44 car of Yuri Vips. Behind him, Drugovic. As they get to work on the cars. Here, meanwhile, is Lorraine Carter-Cayen up in front of Ralph Aaron. Dylan Young has just jumped up to 8th place, so he did manage to improve on that last lap, as did Rinus VK. Carter-Cayen now has just gone quickest on the 51.5. Ralph Aaron doesn't improve, nor does Yoshiaki Katayama in 7th. Ravishankar through that little flick, and then up towards turns 8 and 9. So we're more than halfway through this session, only 13 minutes to go. Newey in the pits as well, so potentially some new tyres going on. Katayama. Japanese F3 champion last year. Dylan Young, the only man to improve on that last lap, apart from Lorraine Carter-Cayen. Mick Schumacher still going out there, one of the only front runners not to have come into the pits yet. As Yoshiaki Katayama continues on the circuit as well. As we go to Yuri Vips, who's down in 9th place at the moment. A little bit of a twitch on the exit of 9. Keeps it on the track though, just about. Chiao Wing-hoon as well has just set a personal best down in 15th position, but starting to find a little bit more pace. Still 9.5 seconds off the pace in his MRF debut, so still a lot of learning to do to get used to the car. Here's Mick Schumacher, who finally decides to come into the pits with 10 minutes left on the clock. A lot of the other drivers have been in there for quite a while. Dylan Young staying out there on the circuit, and he manages to improve again at 1 minute 53.611 for Dylan Young, and the Australian goes 7th. There is Chiao Wing-hoon. Pedro Cardoso, meanwhile, has just displaced Dylan Young for that 7th spot. So the order is Kartikeyan quickest in the test car, then Schumacher, Newey, Drugovich, Mawson and Aaron have all just gone out of the pits, potentially on new tyres. Cardoso 7th, 8th for Dylan Young, 9th for Katayama, 10th for Yuri Vips, and then Rinus VK, Kimi Schramm, Manuel Maldonado and Pavan Ravichanka and Chiao Wing-hoon complete our 15 runners. Yuri Vips has just jumped up to 7th. There is Narain Kartikeyan making his way past Chiao Wing-hoon, but here is Harry Newey then. Is this a set of new tyres? Is this going to be a quick lap? That will be the question. It's his out lap at the moment, so this won't be, but will we start to see him pick up the pace? Just 8 minutes to go, so maybe 3 or 4 laps for Harry Newey. Getting right out onto those curbs, isn't he? Expert. So into the final corner at turn 13 comes Harry Newey. Across the line, cuts the timing beam and starts a flying lap. Felipe Drugovich as well has started a flying lap too. Mick Schumacher has just left the pit lane. A little bit of oversteer on the way into turn 1 there for Harry Newey. Keeps it neat and tidy. exits turn number 4, sorry, heading towards 5 now. Very neat and tidy through 5. Oh, a little bit wide through 7. You can get away with it, you can get away with it. Can't get away with that though, Harry Newey. Well, we mentioned on his outlap how close he was pushing to the edge of the curb. And on this occasion, he's just gone slightly over it. And that's enough to lose him grip, and that will cost him a good lap time here. Joey Mawson across the line to go 5th quickest. Here comes Harry Newey, not expecting any improvement from him. And indeed not. Lost about 4 seconds. So we'll see if that changes this time around. Mick Schumacher, meanwhile, has started his flying lap as well. So we're getting a bit busy up at turn number 3 as we see Ralph Aaron. Up behind Rinus VK. Then Xiao Wing Hung at the back. Ralph Aaron trying to find a way past the 16-year-old Dutchman from Hoofddorp, whose father, Martin, raced in the Boss GP Championship for old Formula 1 cars and big old good single-seaters. So racing very much in the family. Schumacher has just completed his outlap now then. Oh no, sorry, he's still on his flying lap, isn't he? We're looking at Ralph Aaron's. Joey Mawson remains 5th and doesn't improve. Rinus VK doesn't improve either. Mick Schumacher didn't do a great lap, nor did Harry Newey. In fact, both were half a second to a second off their ultimate pace. As there we see some forceful action from Harry Newey as he fights his way past Xiao Wing Hung. So that's where Harry Newey's time loss would have come from, getting caught up behind the Malaysian driver. Less than 4 minutes to go, so if they want to get a good lap time, it needs to come sooner rather than later. Again, that back end dancing around in Harry Newey's car as he gets on the brakes into the hairpin at 4. Very oversteery on the way in. This is where Newey made the mistake on the last lap. No such errors this time around. Still Karthikeyan quickest, then Schumacher, Newey, Drugovic, Mawson, Aaron, Vips, Cardosa, Young, Katayama, the top 10. Then VK, Schramm, Maldonado, Ravishankar and Hung, the top 15. Someone's just jumped up, and that's Pedro Cardoso up into 6th place. Harry Newey through the final corner again. Can't imagine this will set the world alight, because he had to get past Xiao Wing Hung. And indeed the world remains inflammable. Here's Mick Schumacher, clear air for the German. 2 minutes on the clock. So this won't quite be Schumacher's last lap. He'll get one more after this. Schumacher down into turn 10. Carry a lot of speed through turns 10 and 11, don't they? Really, really good to watch. Now Schumacher, who's currently the quickest of anyone apart from Narain Kartikeyan's test car, comes through the final corner. He'll get one more lap after this one. If this one isn't the one, a 51.732 is the time to beat, and he's about a second off it. So you just wonder if maybe these guys haven't put a new set of tyres on. Felipe Drugovich jumps up to 4th place. Here's Harry Newey. I think Joey Mawson's going to be the concerned chap here, about 6 or 7 tenths off Schumacher and Newey. Amazing that in the 8 races so far he's had 7 podiums, Joey Mawson. Rinus VK jumps up into 7th place. Here comes Harry Newey across the line. Any improvement for him? No. 4 tenths off. Ralph Aaron jumps up into 4th place though. Top 4 still separated by 1.3 seconds. Quite a big spread. 25 seconds to go, so these guys will get one more lap. Whoa, Newey! Really backing it in there. Fantastic stuff. Not necessarily the quickest way to go about it. Looks cool. And there is the checkered flag. Session comes to a conclusion, but if you've started your lap, you can finish it, and that's what Mick Schumacher's up to now. Through turns 8 and 9. So the order, with a couple of seconds left, Kartikeyan in the test car, then Schumacher, Newey, Aaron, Drugovich, Mawson, Vips, the top 7. What can Schumacher do through the final corner? He's provisionally quickest anyway. And no improvement this time around for Mick Schumacher. But he remains quickest. Is anyone going to knock him off that perch? Joey Mawson improves on that last lap. Remains 5th. Here comes Harry Newey. He's got this man Ralph Aaron up in front of him. So 3rd and 4th about to come across the line. And nothing doing for either of them. As Rinus VK comes out of the final corner, he cuts the timing beam and he stays in 8th place as well. And off is Manuel Maldonado. Again, I don't think he's quite visited the barriers there. I'm not sure, is that the exit of turn 8 and 9? It's just reversing back to get going again, is the Venezuelan. Raced in Italian Formula 4 in 2016. But it doesn't look like he's going to be getting going anytime soon, does it? There he goes. So, just trying to figure out where that is. And yes, it is on the exit of turns 8 and 9. So the end of the second free practice session, Narain Kartikeyan is quickest in the MRF test car. So effectively, Mick Schumacher ends the session fastest of anyone. Harry Newey 3rd, and then Ralph Aaron 4th, with Joey Mawson completing the top 5. So that's the end of the second free practice session. Impressive stuff from Mick Schumacher. And here's a look back at the highlights. Everyone vying for some space in the opening stages. Mick Schumacher actually did very well to to pull out in front and find a lot of clear air. Harry Newey then as well behind was pushing very hard. It was really a battle between those two for the entirety of the session. There was a spin for Felipe Drogovic, but he just managed to keep it out of the wall. And the mechanics won't have to do too much work on damage later on. Katayama was driving pretty nicely, ended up 10th quickest at the end of that second free practice session. In the striking 78 car. Harry Newey was pushing hard to try and beat Mick Schumacher to the top of the times, got a little bit twitchy there and was pushing maybe a little too hard as he got out on the curbs and ran wide and had to rejoin. But it was Mick Schumacher who ended the session quickest, a 1:51.732 as he took the checkered flag, and a very impressive drive from the German. So that's the end of all the practice, both for Formula 2000, Formula 1600 and the VW Vento Cup. It's only qualifying and race action that we have coming up for you tomorrow, and you can see it all here on the live stream. The action gets underway about 10 o'clock tomorrow morning local time in India, which is 5.5 hours ahead of the UK and 4.5 hours ahead of mainland Europe. And it really looks like it's going to be Newey versus Shuey once again for the top spot, because it's been very, very impressive drives from both of them, but neither of them improved in the closing stages. Every other driver out there set their fastest lap from lap 10 onwards. Schumacher and Newey set their fastest lap times on lap 4 and 5, so maybe they didn't put new tyres on at the end of that session, potentially. And let's hear from Mick Schumacher. He is now talking to Louise Beckett.
Well, yes, Mick, it was a dominant performance from you from that session.
Yeah, no, I mean, I felt good in the car, and well, not more to say. I guess the time showed that we can be quite dominant here. Now we have to see how the long runs will be in quali and racing.
So you're looking for pole?
I am. I think that's always the goal. Now it seems like it's a bit closer. We have to see how the performance of the other guys will improve for qualifying, because they also get my data, so I guess they will do a step. But I will try to do myself also a step and keep them behind.
Thanks, see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Yes, as Mick says, the fastest lap time from free practice, the data gets shared with everybody else. So in some ways, you almost want to not go fastest so that no one gets to see your data. But Schumacher has done it, and he sets a 1:51.732. But a very, very confident-looking Mick Schumacher there. 0.3 of a second quicker than Harrison Newey in third, and then a full 0.8 of a second quicker than Ralph Aaron in fourth position. I'm sure it'll tighten up come qualifying tomorrow, though. There's no doubt about that. And especially when we get the races underway a little bit later on here at the Buddha International Circuit. 4 races for the Formula 2000 Championship, and Louise has now managed to find Yuri Vips, who finished 7th. Louise.
Yuri Vips from 44. You've had your practice sessions here. It's been the first time, so what are your thoughts on the circuit?
It's a really, really nice circuit. I like it here. It's haven't been running much since the Grand Prix here 4 years ago, but yeah, it was a bit dusty in the morning, but yeah, the track's building up to it now, and yeah, the grip's going down. But yeah, the layout and everything I like, and I think it's a good first day for me, yeah.
And we've got quali tomorrow, so what do you think is achievable for you?
Aiming for top 3, maybe. I think it's, yeah, I think we kind of found a problem in a setup that we had in the free practice sessions now, but so yeah, I think I have quite high hopes for quali tomorrow.
Good, well, we look forward to seeing what happens. Thanks.
Thanks.
So Yuri Vips, one of very few Estonian racing drivers, really. And of course the most notable, I suppose, being Marco Asma, who was, I think he was British Formula 3 champion, Marco Asma, back in about mid-2000s and then ended up racing GT cars in the Blancpain GT Championship and such like. So he's the sort of main Estonian racing driver, but now we've got two here this weekend, with Ralph Aaron finishing 4th in that session and Yuri Vips, who we just heard from, finishing in 7th place. But as I mentioned, 4 races coming up for the MRF Formula 2000s over the course of the weekend, and let's find out what's going on with the development of this car. Louise.
Narain, we've seen you out on the circuit today. What have you been testing?
Well, we have an upgraded car, just, I think quad throttles and a little bit more horsepower. And we have the paddle shift on, so just some calibration work going on. And tomorrow, hopefully, we can do some tire testing. So we expect the next season's car to be significantly faster than the one right now. So, yeah.
Jay and Anand, what have been your thoughts so far from what you've got from today?
I think it's what our cars from before, previous Renault cars to this engine which we are running now. It's around close to 3.5 seconds a lap faster. I think it's quite a bit. I'm very pleased with the performance.
Well, we're certainly enjoying seeing the cars moving around. So does that look like that's what we can see in the future for the rest of the championship?
Yeah, I think it's very close, and I think it'll be very exciting in Chennai. And hopefully we can build this on this.
Thanks very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
So Narain Karthikeyan and Jay Anand there. So that is the conclusion of this weekend, and they certainly look quicker, don't they, these Formula 2000 cars. Make sure you join us tomorrow for qualifying and the races from the Buddha International Circuit.